Hey guys, welcome to Breakdown, and today we're going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble 2017, and I've already tried to record this video, and my wife walked in. If you record and you have a family, you know what I'm talking about. Annoying, very annoying, but I don't want to make this super long. I really don't, and my intention was not. Anyways, to make this a super long video, but so I'm going to break this down match by match. The one thing I will say is promos before the match. They do it on pay-per-view, and they did it on the pre-show. Don't do it both. Why are we doing it both places? Annoying. Very, very annoying. The first match we got was Cesaro and Sheamus taking on the Club. Pretty good match. Club walked out the champions. Pretty impressive. It was a pretty decent match. I don't think they wrestled as long as they did on Raw, but for the most part, it was pretty good. Pretty good. I was happy with the length of the match and everything like that. But it just kind of surprised me they didn't go longer. But it was the pre-show, so Club has the belts. We'll see where it goes from there. And spoiler alert: Cesaro and Sheamus kind of got in a scuffle at the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next match. It was I believe it was a 6-man tag. Nikki Bella, Naomi, and Becky Lynch taking on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, which the first time I recorded this, I don't think I mentioned anything about Mickie James. So it's a good thing I got to re-record this. And Natalya. So, Mickie James makes her in-ring debut at the Royal Rumble 2017. Re-debut, I guess I should say. Makes her return to in-ring action in WWE here. And it seems like the only reason why they had this match was for Naomi to get the pinfall on Alexa Bliss. So that means they'll probably have a match at some point. Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, somewhere. Naomi's kind of growing on me, so I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. Alexa Bliss has been a great champion, so from here, it's awesome. I don't know what they're going to do at WrestleMania, if they're going to have 2 women's title matches. I'm assuming they will, or they'll have some kind of, which I brought up on my predictions thing. I would love to see something like both champions in a match kind of thing, and then have like whoever pins the champions at the end of the match walk out the champions of both, SmackDown and Raw, like their respective brands. Like have both champions in the match. Whoever pins both the champions walk out. If no one pins either of them, and the champion walks out, the champion may walk out. And probably one of them they should if they had a match like that. Have Alexa Bliss walk out with the title, have Charlotte lose the title. They could have something like that where like all the women on the roster are in the ring facing them, because they just, there's so much talent and they want to give everybody a chance at WrestleMania to make a moment, or something like that. I don't know. Just a thought. Because I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm assuming they'll probably just have 2 matches. Because WrestleMania is probably going to be like a freaking 10-hour event. If Royal Rumble was 7 hours, Jesus Lord. It was long. It was long. And my wife, I tortured her and made her watch the whole entire thing. She let me watch it, and my son watched most of it with me. He was slightly in and out of it because he didn't know all the stories going into it. He just paid attention to the matches and some of the high spots, he would watch. So that's basically it. From there, we got the Sasha, Nia Jax. This could have happened on Raw. But the reason why they did it is they're trying to build Nia Jax up. Nia Jax got the win. Short fashion, like 4 minutes maybe. If that. Like, was it even 4 minutes long? I don't even know. They wrestled for a decent amount, but it seems like it was really, really short. It seems like it was 3 or 4 minutes that they only wrestled for. And Nia Jax got the win. So I was like, whatever. And it was really cool at the beginning of the Royal Rumble when it started. You got Shawn Michaels and Jerry King Lawler on the pre-show with Booker T and Renee Young, which Jerry's been on there before, but Shawn Michaels was there. They didn't really let him talk very much, though. They did most of the talking. Booker T and Lawler did most of the talking with Renee Young. Shawn didn't really talk about much. He talks about the stuff you've heard from him before, yeah, Triple H is my best buddy, but you can't face him when he turns into the game. He plays mind tricks on you. Dude, we've heard that before. Why you have him on the pre-show if you're gonna ask him dumb questions like that? It's like, come on, man, come on. Anyways, the show starts, but Michaels is coming out to the ring because they do switch out with I think Peter Rosenberg, which somehow got a job with the WWE. I think he's like I wonder if he's a YouTuber or something like that. So I think he's from ESPN. Is what I heard. I thought he does that one show that everybody. I thought it was a really good show. I think it was. I can't remember what the name of the show is. They had one show with Heyman and JBL, which that's a weird combination. Um, but yeah, he was on there. Austin Aries was on there. Somebody else was on there too. I can't remember who else they brought. Oh, well, yeah, that was pretty good. But Michaels came out to the ring to hype up the Royal Rumble right before the Royal Rumble went on the air, and yeah, I was interested. It got my attention. I think it was a good idea to have a hype man go out there um, and hype up the Royal Rumble. You could have did the same thing with Enzo and Cass, to be quite honest, but to have Shawn Michaels there, already there, since he lives in Texas, uh, hometown, San Antonio, I believe. Pretty good, pretty awesome to do that. Rock on. Anyways, it starts off with a women's match, which I was very surprised because basically they booked and laid out the card with 3 women's matches in a row. I'm not sure why. Why didn't switch it around and have the cruiserweights start off the show, or um, even that's kind of weird. Have Owens and Reigns start the show, but um, it's kind of weird, kind of odd. But Bayley lost. Charlotte retains. I think everybody probably thought that. Something about Bayley, I just don't see. These women are not clicking. I don't think that Bayley should win it from Charlotte. Be honest, I think her time should wait, and they may wait. Um, but they seem to be pushing Nia Jax right now, which doesn't make any sense because why would we have Nia Jax versus Charlotte at WrestleMania? That would be kind of weird. But we've seen weirder things, so who knows? Maybe we'll see Nia Jax versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, and Nia Jax will take the belt from Charlotte in record time. Maybe they'll do something like that um, to put Nia Jax over and have her win the women's championship. Because this is my whole thing, though. We're not going to give all the women a title at one point in time. That's stupid. Why would you do that? That's dumb. Some women are going to have to be the mid-carders and going to have to not get the title as they're just not going to get the title. It's like, I don't know. Like half the women on the roster, I think, have already been women's champion, and it's kind of stupid to think that. It's like all the men, like they're not ever, not everyone is going to hold a championship, It's like Tyler Breeze is a great wrestler, but will he hold the title? We don't know. But he's super good. He doesn't really need to win a championship, to be honest, because he's such a great wrestler. I think it's entertaining enough to see them fight in the ring and just, be in matches, because sometimes some wrestlers don't even need titles because they're that good. Um, but Charlotte is just kind of boring to me. She's not really, to me, lately, her matches are just not, there's something about Charlotte I'm just not entertained by. I don't know why. And I know some people may not like that comment, but just me, I don't know. It just wasn't she's not very exciting to me. It seems to me, like, even Sasha and her, it's getting kind of old. Like, it's getting kind of old. It's not exciting anymore. It's boring. They burned that. They flooded that into our brains. So it's getting old with Charlotte really, really quick. They need to do something to freshen it up. Uh, uh, I think we just need to have Dana Brooke, like, if she ever is good and can get over her crap, book her to beat Charlotte and have a feud with Dana Brooke at WrestleMania. That would be kind of neat. I'm hoping that happens instead of Bayley versus Charlotte, which I'm probably guessing is going to be a WrestleMania. Anyways, let's move on. I believe we got the Reigns and Kevin Owens match next, which kind of shocked me. but it was really good. It was a really, really good match. I'll tell you that. Uh, Jericho, I liked how they started the match, and Jericho and Owens just immediately just started jumping Roman Reigns and beating the crap out of him. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and and Reigns has to fight him off and finally get Jericho into the cage and lock him in there himself to make sure he's not going to interfere in the match. And as soon as yeah the match happens, Reigns starts whooping Owens' butt for a while, and then it was a really good match. I think they did a really good job telling the story. Kevin Owens, I think. Um, he does a great job either way. I think he could tell a story. He's kind of one of those guys where you put him in the ring with somebody, he's going to make him look like $1,000,000, no matter what. Owens can do it. He's kind of like AJ Styles, where you put him in the ring with somebody. He's not like AJ Styles because he's different. He's got a different body type, but he can still do all the things that AJ basically does. But he just knows how to perform. He knows how to be a heel. He knows how to do things that will make the crowd into it, where he'll punch the guy and scream in his face and say something where the whole crowd can hear you. Or it will pick up on the mic. It will come up on the thing, it's great, It's like that's the kind of stuff you want to see. You want to see emotion. You want to see a story told in the ring, and Owens can do it. Owen is kind of like an old school heel. That's why I like him. I think that's the kind of the draw. And there's not a lot of old school heels anymore. They're kind of going by the wayside. But the caveat to that is he does things. He does kind of moves that are kind of crazy at times too. So he's got the old school, and he's kind of got the new school kind of mindset of ROH kind of style wrestling that's kind of being meshed into the WWE, kind of like the dives and stuff like that, where wouldn't have been done in WWE, 5 years ago. They would have been saying, "Get that crap out of here." But now they know that style is kind of taking over the wrestling world, and it's kind of becoming the next thing. Oh, but yeah, great match. Braun Strowman, the big ticket here, and the funny thing about it is I'm skipping ahead to the Royal Rumble a little bit, but Strowman came out at number 7. Reigns was nowhere around. I don't understand. Like, what happened? What happened there? Like, what stories are they trying to tell? Like, I'm confused. Strowman interferes. I mean, maybe Raw? They're going to have a match on Raw? Like, I'm confused about what's going on there. But yeah, Strowman attacks Reigns, basically, and tosses him back in the ring. And Owens, I don't remember if he just pins him automatically or if he did the pop-up powerbomb. I think he did the pop-up powerbomb to him in the ring and then pinned him. But anyway, Owens retains. He's still the Universal Champion. So, wow. And to me, I kind of like, why would Reigns, if he's going to face a certain someone at WrestleMania, which was not Braun, there was rumors of him taking on someone else. Why would he win the championship? Because he doesn't need that for that match. Because that person doesn't need that. Because he always wrestles one time a year. You should know who I'm talking about. If you're a wrestling fan, if you don't know, then you probably don't shouldn't watch wrestling anymore. I'm just saying. But yeah, then we get the cruiserweight match. Rich Swann versus Neville. Now I think this match could have gone either way, and I kind of like, come on, Swann, you can do it. And I was behind Swann, hoping he would do it. But Neville came out on victory. This match was awesome. Like, oh, by far, I wanted to point this out though. The Owens Reigns match was amazing. It was awesome. If you couldn't have picked any better matches to be the 3 matches. And now going back, the only match that was subpar was the women's title match. It wasn't really that great. The only moment that was halfway decent in that women's match was the figure 8 being put on and being flipped back and forth. And I think it ended, like, shortly after that is when something happened, and Charlotte pinned Bailey. Charlotte did a moonsault and all this other stuff. Whatever. Like I said, that was the only subpar match. It just didn't feel that great to me. Then we get the Cruiserweight match. Neville beats Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight Championship. Really great match. Definitely worth checking out. They put on a great story here. It doesn't go as long as what they could have done. They probably could have went a little bit longer, to be honest. Could have did a lot more spots. Oh. But here's my thing. They'll probably have a rematch at Elimination Chamber, maybe, or on 205 Live. And I don't know what they're going to do. I honestly think that Neville will probably defend the championship against either TJ, or Cedric, or Noam, somebody at Elimination Chamber. And then, oh wait, no. It'd be Fastlane. My bad. They'll probably defend it there, and then somebody's going to probably beat Neville at WrestleMania. Whoever they're going to put the belt on, maybe Cedric, maybe somebody else. I don't know. Maybe Tozawa. Who knows? But yeah, Neville will probably be the champion for a while, I'd assume. If he doesn't drop it at Mania, then he'll be champion for a while. I think they just need to build up all the guys and get them behind everybody and try and see who people are going to be behind. Because I think that Cedric is going to be the person I think everybody's going to basically get behind. He's a really great wrestler, and I think Cedric proved that in the Cruiserweight Classic. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Cruiserweight Classic by now, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go check that out. Awesome matches. They really got the performance in that tournament, and they're showing a little bit in the WWE now. But once you get to WWE, you got to do different stuff. You got to change up your style a little bit. Some people went to NXT, but for the most part, most of them went straight to the main roster and went to 205 Live. So kind of interesting to see. And they go back and forth anyway. Some of the people on 205 Live end up on NXT at times. But I think it's funny that now you really don't see them anymore on NXT because they realize that they don't need to be on NXT because they're already great. Like, they're already, if you sign them for the Cruiserweight Classic, there must have been something special. And they don't need to be on NXT anymore. Which is really fun because nobody really mentions that Rich Swann was NXT. And now he was the Cruiserweight Champion. He was on the main roster and on Raw every single week. And nobody talked about his call-up. Did everybody like forget that? Like, he was on NXT and like after tournaments, it's like, mesh. Nobody even mentioned a thing about it. Nobody even mentioned a thing about it. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, Neville won. I'm happy with it. I think a lot of people knew. That was the second lock. I think that people thought that he was going to win the championship. So there you go. AJ Styles and Cena. This is the one match in the night, besides Roman and Owens. That was kind of up in the air too. People didn't know what was going to happen there. AJ Styles and John Cena. People did not know what was going to happen. People didn't know Cena's going to win. AJ's going to retain. People have no idea. Cena supposedly has a movie he's going to work on before Mania. So evidently he's not going to probably be on TV very much. So it's going to have to be a simple story. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. Will Cena even be at Mania? That's my question. Yeah, no one would I know who won the Rumble. Not excited for that match if that match happens. Please no. Cena beats AJ in an amazing match. Once again, they put on a clinic. A lot of near falls. They did every finisher they had, plus extras, and still, when it came down to it, it came to repetition of their main finishers. John Cena, I probably believe he did the AA to AJ like 5 times during that match to finally beat him, even a super AA at one point. AJ finally just gets defeated with, I think, like 2 AAs right in a row. Like, Cena rolls into another AA out of another AA. So, weird. Very odd. Cena throughout the match was being cocky, arrogant. He almost was acting like a heel. So, you almost got Cena's heel turn already. But it wasn't very like deliberate. So, whatever. We'll never get that. I don't think we'll ever get him turning heel, but whatever. Um, AJ loses the belt. Uh, Whatever. No Samoa Joe interruption. People thought that might happen. Didn't happen. John Cena ties Ric Flair's record for 16 world titles. There you go. And then the Royal Rumble starts. The biggest disappointment of the night. uh, I almost can remember every single number in this Rumble because I watched it once. Then I watched the reaction on another YouTube channel. And then I started watching it with my son this morning, a little bit before he went to school. And what a Rumble. It was interesting, I will say, but not really too much surprises. The one surprise, honestly, there was no, okay, hold on. Let me say this. There was no good surprises. There was a lot of wrestlers that like, you're like going, how the hell did they get them a spot? You could have gave Seth Rollins that spot. Which, by the way, was dumb that he wasn't in the Rumble. I don't understand that. I understand you got a story with Triple H, but you could have had him do something in the Rumble. Even though we knew would probably happen, it would have been better than what they did. Have him come out of the NXT Takeover and, where are you at? I know you're in the back. Oh, whatever. It's cool they did it, but it's just dumb. And then they banned him from the Royal Rumble. Kind of stupid. Anyways, so you didn't really get that many big surprises. The big surprise was Ty Dillinger at number 10, which everybody wanted. In my opinion, Finn Balor probably was going to be in this Rumble. I bet. And I wonder if he was going to be in the 10 spot. Or Joe. Somebody, I bet, was supposed to be in this match. And everybody wanted to see Ty at 10, so they probably took him out. I almost bet that there was somebody that was supposed to be in that spot, and they put them in. But you got guys like Kalisto, Mark Henry, Apollo freaking Crews was in this Royal Rumble match. Really? Really? We had James Ellsworth, Jack Gallagher. What other surprises? We even got Enzo at the end, near the end, and I'm like going, really? Really? Because at this point, I was counting off people, and it was getting really close to the end, and I'm like, okay, I know we've got 3 people left. Lesnar, Goldberg, Undertaker still to come. We have like 2 more bonuses left to go. Enzo is like, I think, number 28 or something, or 20. Yeah, I think he was number 28. And then, no, it was number 27. He was 27. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because, yeah, he was 27. No, he was 26. Is that right? Somewhere around that. I probably get it wrong, but whatever. But anyway, he got down to the end, and Enzo was one of the surprises near the end. And I'm like, really? Like, no one, why did you put Enzo in there? Like, one, what's he going to do? He's not going to win. And you wasted it, dude. You could have had. Here's my thing. Balor, you knew he just came back. It's Lesnar. It's Lesnar. You want to get heat on Lesnar? You want him to be. You want people want. They want him to be a heel. For God's sake, you want to have him be a heel. You put Balor in that ring, and you have Lesnar just eliminate him right away, dude. You know how much heat that would give Lesnar? People would hate him for doing that. They would boo the crap out of Lesnar because they would have booed like heavily if that would have happened. But they would have popped huge for Balor. Saving it for a Raw is such a waste. Such a waste. They should have. Still don't know why. And he was my pick to win the Royal Rumble because I really did think that he was going to show up. He was going to be like number 15 or number 30 and then win the Rumble. That's what I thought was going to happen. Let's talk about number 30 first of all. Number 30. Everybody, all the three big guys are out there. Goldberg, Lesnar, and Undertaker. They've already been in the ring. And then we get to the point where everybody's like, okay, this has to be Balor. All right, this has to be Joe. It has to be somebody big. Is it going to be Cena, or is it going to be AJ? Maybe coming out to try and do it. Nobody gave a flying crap about the other person that they thought might come out. He ended up coming out. This flipping Roman Reigns. Are you kidding me? Roman Reigns comes out at number 30. The biggest letdown. See, a lot of people were just being stupid, thinking that one year that Daniel Bryan was going to come out at number 30 and ended up being Rey Mysterio, and they booed him. But this year, it was like, no, legitimately, it should have been somebody. Not. I think it could have been anybody, though, and people would have probably booed it. Because they thought Joe was going to be in the Rumble, and he wasn't in the Rumble. And I almost bet that that's going to be like another question at the next thing that Peter Rosenberg does. People are going to ask, why wasn't Joe in the Rumble? Because people are going to be like, what's wrong with you people? But let me say this. Rowan at 30 made no sense whatsoever. You could have did whatever you had to do on Raw, some way, shape, or form. But they can't write for the crap. So they had to put it in the Rumble somehow. And Roman eliminates Undertaker. You got Brock eliminated by Goldberg. Undertaker eliminates Goldberg. Which I kind of guessed would happen. That was really predictable, actually. But, I mean, you've seen great showings from some of the guys in the ring. You've seen Braun dominate the ring for quite a while. Braun Strowman eliminated, not Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin eliminated Braun Strowman. Really good right there. The Wyatt family. Cool little moment with Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt and Randy, where Luke Harper tried to do a Sister Abigail on Bray Wyatt. That was really cool. You seen Luke Harper got a little bit of a pop during when he started to attack Bray Wyatt. You've seen Bray Wyatt and Xavier Woods kind of that storytelling aspect. Xavier Woods is like caught in a trance once again with Bray Wyatt. Kind of cool. I kind of would have liked to see though him caught in a trance and Bray's like attack him. And have him like do the dirty work of Bray Wyatt and have the other two get eliminated, but Xavier kind of stay in the ring and be a part of that story. And even to the fact that Xavier Woods shows up on SmackDown the next week, that would have been great to kind of start that story in a WrestleMania. You know, New Day trying to come to SmackDown to try and break him free from the trance, you know, or something like that. That would have been cool. But we didn't get that. A lot of other moments were in the Rumble. Big Cass and Jericho starting off the Rumble was kind of, It was kind of, it's kind of like last year. I think that I thought Rusev and Roman started off last year. I thought it was, and that was kind of a blah too. And now that we've got Rusev and Roman, you know, we had that this year a lot. You know, I think that was kind of a start. I'm pretty sure that's how the Rumble started last year, though. But anyway, better than last year. I'll tell you that right now. The Rumble was better than last year. There was a lot of cool moments, but it wasn't the greatest. Kane wasn't even in it, which kind of shocked me. Somebody brought Steve and Larson were talking about that. You know, I mean, Randy Orton winning was not the worst thing that could happen. But in my opinion, you know, it just, you know, I don't know where they're going to go with it. And I think that's the good thing, and it's also the bad thing, is that the prediction, and it was right tonight, or it was right last night when I watched the Rumble, was that Randy Orton was going to win. And they're going to go. And if they're going to have, you know, Bray Wyatt win the championship at Elimination Chamber, it's kind of sad that we're predicting all this and they're leaking all this out. It's kind of cool that Bray's going to get the championship if that does happen. But I just don't know if that's a main event kind of a thing at WrestleMania, to be honest. Like, is Bray Wyatt really a headlining kind of thing for Bray Wyatt? Randy Orton? I mean, And if they tell the story right on SmackDown, it could be, a main match because they're really good at telling stories. But in my mind, AJ is going to overshadow everything. So that's why I'm not sure why they took the belt off of AJ because, in my opinion, AJ is such he is the draw on SmackDown right now. People watch SmackDown for AJ Styles. If you watch SmackDown and you ask who's your favorite wrestler on SmackDown, most people are going to probably say AJ Styles because he's a great wrestler and he puts on great matches and he lost the title to John Cena, who is not going to be there every week because that's the draw. You never know when Cena's going to show up. He can show up at any time. They usually announce him ahead of time anyway, so he's kind of the big draw. But it's kind of like having Brock Lesnar as your world champion. He doesn't have to be there every week. It's more of a special attraction when he does show up. That's what John Cena is, and you shouldn't really have him holding the championship for that long. So I kind of hope he drops it. We could see John Cena versus Undertaker still. There might still be a possibility, but I don't know. I think Vince McMahon may see through and want to make WrestleMania really good. He may be playing the cards. So, I get the yawn bug. But he may be playing the cards to make us think that's not going to happen, but it's actually going to happen. And when it does, the whole internet's going to freaking break because people aren't going to think it's going to happen this year, and it ends up happening, and they're going to be like, "Oh my God!" They're going to break. But yeah, Randy Orton wins. Roman number 30. Well, I still don't know what's. I still don't understand that. Balor wasn't in it. Joe wasn't. I don't think the internet's gonna ever figure out why they did that. But then we had Kalisto and Apollo Crews in the Royal Rumble. Why? And James Ellsworth. Why? Okay, James Ellsworth, I understand. He had a big year. He deserves to be in the Rumble. But Apollo Crews, Kalisto. What? Mark Henry? That's what that shocked me. I'm like, Mark Henry hasn't been on TV. When was he on TV? He's on TV like once a month, if that. If that. He's probably wrestling the house shows mainly, though. I'm assuming he wrestles the house shows probably. It's another one that shouldn't have been in there. Enzo didn't need to be in there. To be honest, Cass didn't even need to be in there. But he's a big guy. They wanted to put, I think, every single big guy they had in the roster, on the roster in the Royal Rumble. So, whatever. I guess he had to kind of be there. Hell, I would have rather seen, instead of Apollo Crews and Kalisto, I would rather have seen Tyler Breeze, to be honest. I would love to see him more than them. Or even Fandango. Jesus. I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say about the Rumble. Such a letdown that Balor and Joe wasn't there. I think that's going to be the thing that people hang on the most about this Rumble is that those two guys were not there. They should have been there. Pure and simple. They should have been there. Should have been in the Rumble. You wasted Roman Reigns. Why was he in the flipping Royal Rumble? You weren't going to put AJ in. So why did you put Roman in? The thing about AJ though too is if people think about this, he was the match before the Royal Rumble. So those two guys, they put on a stellar match. He wasn't going to come out again. You could have had him come out and then get eliminated by Dean Ambrose or something. I mean, he could have played that card, but this has been wasting a spot once again. Roman shouldn't have been in it. AJ didn't need to be in it either. They already played their part. The world title matches, they shouldn't have been in the match. Whatever. But one other thing about the Royal Rumble that kind of shocked me. is that, and I think that they could have done a little more storytelling with this as well, is that in previous years you'd see somebody get eliminated by somebody and they get mad. They jump up on the apron and they pull them out of the ring. Well, they didn't do that this year. I don't think they did it one time, which I was weird. Like they usually have something like that in the Rumble, but they didn't do that this year. So it's kind of weird because Lesnar got eliminated by Goldberg, and I almost wanted to think like, oh, he's just going to jump up on the apron and yank him out. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Goldberg eliminated a couple more people, and Undertaker eliminated him. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Um, and then when Undertaker got eliminated by Roman Reigns, I think it would have been more interesting to see Undertaker jump up on the apron, grab Reigns, yank him over the top rope. But instead, he just walked away. I almost guaranteed the Undertaker was going to jump up on the apron and grab Reigns, but he didn't do it. Probably because he couldn't do that. He probably had to walk up the stairs when he came in. Undertaker's getting up there, and he's probably about done. I think this year will be. I hope they don't do Reigns. Please don't do Reigns and Undertaker. Please do not do Reigns and Undertaker. Oh my God. That match is going to be horrendous. Horrendous. If Undertaker is going to pass the torch to Roman Reigns, they better damn well have a really, really good match. Which, the match part about Roman Reigns, that should be a whole video on its own. Like, why people hate Roman Reigns. And let me tell you this right now. The match part about Roman Reigns, that's not what people like. Or that's not what people hate. They like his in-ring ability. I think people respect Roman Reigns' in-ring ability. He can wrestle. He can put on a show. He can perform in the ring. That's not what we don't like. The like is he does not if SmackDown pushed Apollo Crews as the World Heavyweight Champion, same thing. Same thing. He has charisma, but he has more charisma than Apollo Crews. Let me tell you that, bar none. But he can't talk on the microphone, just like Apollo Crews. Just when he talks on the microphone, people just want to go, boo! You can't talk. Get off the mic. Just wrestle. Shut up. He just needs a mouthpiece. I think that's what he needs to have. He needs to turn heel. He needs somebody to be his mouthpiece. But he's just going to talk and say stupid stuff anyway, so might as well not put anybody with him. He's just a waste of time. Here's what I think. I think that after WrestleMania, they may finally realize that, hopefully, in 2017 will be the year that Vince McMahon finally realizes that Roman Reigns is not a draw. And he becomes the new Ryback. But I actually, no, I don't think he'll be Ryback. I think he'll be kind of like the Big Show kind of thing, where he'll be put in the main event situation every once in a while. But I think that eventually he won't be pushed as that kind of main event guy. Because eventually they're going to have to notice that people don't really like him. And he's not over with the crowd. But instead of realizing that, I have a feeling they're going to turn him heel. Yes, that's what we want. But do we really want that? Because that still means they're going to shove him down our throats. So I don't want that. I want them to realize that he's not a draw. He's not a draw. No one wants to see Roman Reigns versus a broom in the ring. Do people want to see AJ Styles versus a broom in the ring? Yes, I would pay to see that match. Do you want to see Roman Reigns versus anybody in the middle of that ring? No, I would not pay to see that match. No one. Maybe James Ellsworth. I might pay to see that match. That's the only match I want to see with Roman Reigns. That's it. That's it. And the matches I do want to see, man, they're not going to do them. I would love to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Are you going to do that match? No, you're not going to do that match because Brock probably doesn't want to do it. because Brock doesn't want a job to Roman Reigns because that would get Roman over. Oh, what a surprise! It would? Yes, it would, because I think they could tell a story. I would love to see Braun versus Roman. It'll probably happen at some point. You know it will. He'll wrestle WrestleMania, and I'll probably his Extreme Rules match will probably be against Braun Strowman. Ta-da! I went 40 minutes. This is a long video. This has to be one of the longest videos I've done in at least a while. At least a while. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Royal Rumble 2017 review. All in all, an okay pay-per-view. I think better. I don't know. If I think about it, last year's might have been a little bit better than this one. Even though it was like, oh, we're defending the world title in the Royal Rumble, the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my life. That's like going to the Survivor Series and being like in the main event and them saying, AJ, you're going to defend your world title. If anybody pins you, they'll become the world champion. And I'm just like, I was AJ, I'm like, are you shitting me? That's not fair. Dumb. Dumb. Anyway, sound like I was like, dumb. No. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Leave your comments down below what you think about the Royal Rumble 2017. As always, keep rocking and keep watching wrestling.